Right. So again, legal says you may enjoy yourself tonight. You may laugh at the antics that we create. You may guffaw at the situations we find ourselves in, but you will feel bad about yourself later when you contemplate fully what you were laughing about. Get that out of the way right off the back. Chuck says he has no pre-roll, so we are going into our Weird Frontiers game. The great posse of adventurers.
Great.
We'll call them adventurers.
Adventurers.
Succeeded.
I mean, just quotes on everything.
Nicer than what most people call us.
Succeeded at freeing the French family from a curse on their mansion and making away with a bunch of goods.
Allegedly on everything.
We are doing kind of a tiered leveling system, so everybody leveled up after last game. We're now 4th level good guys, something like that.
Guys.
We're starting a new module tonight. Yeah, but before we start, I wanted to share a little something for those folks out there that a little concerned that you can't find print copies of Weird Frontiers anywhere because it's sold out everywhere. I think even Goodman is empty at this point. We have completed the split of the book as a print on demand. Instead of one massive tome, you now have 2 very thick tomes, but not quite as massive. I would show you how the spines line up to make one image, but drive-through sent my box with some glue on it. It tore off my spine. But yeah, they're pretty. They'll be available soon on Drive-Through RPG as print on demands. So there we go.
With functional boxes.
Instead of one weapon, you get 2.
You can dual wield now. 2 rule books.
Nice.
There we go. Yeah, new cover for the second one. This is the Magic Tome. The split happened. Basically the magic section of the book was torn out. It's got all the spells, contraptions, and such for all of your spell casting and spell effect like classes in here, as well as the history of magic and stuff like that. So they're pretty close. There's 60 pages difference between the two of them. So they're still both mighty tomes. Anyway, so to pick up where we played last, let's first look at our cast of characters. Chuck, who you playing? And what did you pick up for your 4th level?
Oh, God. I am... Who am I even? I'm Pierce
Been that long.
McIntyre, not John Ives like I put in Zoom chat. That's another character.
Your knee was only slightly blown off by me.
Yeah, I got shot real good last time. And what did I pick up when I leveled up? I used some of those spell tomes and whatnot that you provided. I got crap for HP, but that's expected.
Of course.
I rolled the minimum.
What spell do I have that I didn't have before? I now have... Oh, God. I have Invoke Patron, which I picked up because of invoking my patron. I had to sacrifice someone to do that.
And who did you pick up as a patron?
Oh, my gosh. You're asking all the questions that I'm not ready to
Can't
answer.
even remember your patron. Well, that's going to cost you something.
It is. That's fine.
It's going to cost you something.
What's the patron gonna take? His other knee?
I can tell you
someone was sold a bill of goods on this deal.
I can tell you the spells I got from my patron: the Elder Sign and the Gaze of the Abyss. I
Perhaps
can't tell you what
Chance
they
should
do
be your
right now
patron.
Sounds like a good bar name.
Yeah, that's your ska band.
That's
what that is.
I'm gonna have to look.
All right,
That is.
all right.
I don't know.
Fair enough. And that's Pierce McIntyre. Yeah, Jake, what do you got? And what did they pick up for 4th level?
Well, I will be portraying French Calavera named Killian Fauché, who just got a little bit of a boost to his attack power, a couple more hit points, and a little bit more long-lasting spiritual effects for when he communes with the departed. Including those our party forces to become departed. Always handy.
And Pierce, you're now the devoted of Shub Niggereth.
I looked it up. Yeah.
You are good old Shubby. The
the ultimate baby maker.
Yeah, exactly.
No more
That's
fish
not going to
people.
come up.
Mm-mm.
That's never going to come up. Jebediah Bejebbums. Tell us
You
all
said it.
about Jebediah Bejebbums.
Yes, the Jebediah Jevons. I am the group conman gambler who tries to downplay his magic because it's very deadly, and he likes to play
Do
cards
you?
with people.
Do you
without
really?
them.
In certain
Around
circumstances.
other people, around us, it's been rather flashy.
Please downplay it.
Please don't hurt me.
I think Scab's about the only one that could not instantly die now when I draw cards because they're all getting more powerful. But yeah, leveled up. Not much changes as the gambler. I've been picking up a lot of new skills, but main thing that I like is my mojo die goes up. So my base damage and base bonuses go up a lot with that.
And collateral damage goes up as well.
Yes.
And that was Joe. Joe playing Jebediah Bejebbums.
Yes.
Our,
My name
our
is Joe.
illustrious con man.
Mhm.
Daniel, tell us all about Chance.
Technically, Chance is our gunslinger, although, I mean, really, Chance applies to everything he do, including mostly killing our allies instead of our enemies. Like, it's... Somebody's getting shot.
Somebody
Chance on
for
who?
sure.
All
right.
I think I get more spiritual weapons, maybe, which I need to work out because I think I've only ever picked up one at this point. I think I have access to 2 now.
Well, that could be awesome.
Yeah, take a look. There are some nifty things that you get. Yeah, I think your Deadeye die goes up.
My
as well.
Deadeye die goes up, but that's basically it. So just more damage to my friends.
As you do.
Absolutely. And weighing out the team by playing the plucky child of the group. Tell us all about Scabs, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Scab. I'm 12 years old, and I guess I'm a Tommy knocker ever since that cave-in made me feel a little funny. Mostly I'm just here to take care of my dad, Pierce, because he's the goodest man ever. I love him so much, and I'm going to help him do anything he needs, because I'm a good boy. For my
Absolute
level,
best son.
yeah, I mostly just got all the hit points in the world, because that's what Tommy knockers do. But what I'm really proud of is I learned how to be a tailor, because I constantly have to stitch my battered flesh back together. And also, a vampire girl said I was ugly. So screw her. I'm going to learn how to stitch up my own clothes and look real nice. And the next time I meet her, maybe she won't be so mean to me.
Next time we meet her, she might be my girlfriend.
Or Pierce's. Who knows?
Did take a shine to Chance, that's for sure. And oh yeah, let's not forget that you're great, the best father ever, the father of year, did brand you. I think
It's
that
okay.
may or may
He
not
just,
have worn off.
Just so
he
we're
just
out fair
burns me
about
to
it.
make me better. He loves me so
Mhm.
much.
In fact, I think
All
I've
right.
branded all of you at least
Everyone.
once by now.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even me, despite
weighing-
doing my worst.
Weighing the other side of the spectrum in the group are pulsating pectorals of our very well-oiled luchador.
Yes,
Tell us about
Ivan. Ivan, he likes the oil. He can treat any surface like a slip and slide if you try hard enough. No, Ivan, he's a righteous man. He likes to think he's doing justice to the world and also putting on a good show while he's doing it. And he is dumb as a box of rocks. No idea what kind of character most of the people in this group are like, other than his surface reaction of thinking they're the best in the world and the most righteous of men. And Ivan's kind of taken a little bit of a shine to Scab, wants to maybe raise him up to be a luchador as well. Certainly has an aptitude for hitting hard.
He does.
All
Yes.
right, guys. Let's get into the action for tonight. Well, sort of action, as some of you were really beat up after, the last scenario. You got away with a lot of interesting artifacts, some worth a lot of money, which you've already successfully kind of sold off to some merchants in town and some traveling salespeople, just eking out every last dollar that you could, really. But then you're convalescing. This sleepy little town called Ojuela. You've been here for a good 5 days now. And this is really a beautiful little town. Our luchador is well known and loved here. The sport of wrestling is held in great admiration. Many of the folks knew of Ivan the Terrible, Ivan the Beautiful, and he has been given all sorts of admiration through the town, getting free drinks and breakfasts and dinners, and asked to come and to dine with various families with marriageable age daughters. He has been paraded around night after night as I think Pierce was probably the worst of you, mostly because his stats only heal at 1 point a day.
Yeah.
Because they were spellburned. The
And
rest of
also I
you would heal
shot
up.
him.
And you shot him. So on day 5, Pierce is feeling good enough that he has been out and about town as well. People here really are just salt of the earth, very gracious people. They're always willing to offer a bit of food, a bit of help. You've been nothing but kept in luxury while you were here. Part of that being the large amount of funding you have now after selling off a bunch of your goods. And you've gotten to know a few people. In particular, the 3rd or 4th day here, a traveler came through. Mystery man, very silent person. We find out after he sees the condition that some of you are in. He is, in fact, a revelator, a Mormon revelator by the name of Hiram. And Hiram helps things along best he can. Of course, Pierce, your spellburn. No magical healing of the spellburn. It still takes a bit of while to get that going. But otherwise, heals everybody up. Very congenial guy. He says he's here waiting for a Marshall Hoffman that he's expecting to be by. At least he saw in a vision that he had that Marshall Hoffman was going to be in need of his steady hand. He's something of a gunslinger. He's got a good shot, steady hands, but he does thump the Bible in his Book of Mormon as well. He's not on the preachy side, though, which is odd for any of you that have ran across these elders that go across and preach their funny book. He's kind of a quiet man, but a man vested in power. He's come to like you for some strange reason. Another person that you have ran into, and some of you might have decided it's a very interesting person, is there's a village shaman here, El Brujo. Elderly man. He's got a mouth that seems like it's always locked in a warm smile. His beautiful but also elderly wife is very congenial, and they keep interesting artifacts in their home. And when you first tried to sell some things, Jebediah, his wife actually bilked you out of a sale, telling the merchant that was about to purchase a particular piece from you that no, it was bad. It was bad. It was possessed of an unkind, unclean spirit. And Jebediah, you were about to get upset, but she paid for the artifact, which you were asking for, takes it from you, and explains that her husband, it's what he does is that he removes and contains curses on such items. And his craft has been in something of a demand since the 7 days of night had unleashed magic back on the world, and lots of evil invested in certain items. You followed her back to their little dwelling and seeing shelves upon shelves of interesting items, all cursed in certain ways that he has made safe, exorcised or locked within any evil things, and you kind of started up a rapport with that family. So that's two of you guys that, we got our luchador who's just, everybody loves having you around. The kids love you. Jebediah has a place of interesting artifacts to look over, and they do deal in things as well. So you've got like a little contact there to, if you ever get strange items, they know buyers for certain things. Pierce, you were laid up for several days, but when you are up and about again, you're now possessed of certain arcane tomes that you'd probably be investing time in, learning new spells, that sort of thing.
Yes.
But in this quaint, happy little village of Owella, what might you have been doing in these last few days?
Well, first off, I found some poor drunkard at night and lured him out into the darkness. And
one of the happy, friendly town folks you just lured into the darkness.
And I murdered him in a ritualistic sacrifice to my new patron, where I learned a few spells. Outside of that, if they have all sorts of strange knickknacks and items to study, that's probably what I would be doing, is looking over those.
Yeah, so probably Jebediah told you about El Brujo and his wife, so you've been spending some time there.
I would have been really curious too at how she identified that it was cursed.
Oh, she has the sight. It's very specific. She can tell when certain items are inhabited by spiritual presences or are touched by good or evil. She also tells you that your knife, the knife that you're claiming is yours now, is touched by a very mighty force of goodness, and wonders how you come upon it, because she can see the darkness in your heart. Not that you're a bad person.
Yeah, I like some balance. It is a knife of a good friend of mine.
Okay, but we'll say it's after one of these journeys to El Brujos where you are going over some of these cursed artifacts, and McIntyre is probably doing some experimentation, shall we say, as El Brujo is showing you how he locks the evil within or exorcises it out. Now, there are some things that are invested with goodness as well. These are very rare in these days. Many people call them holy artifacts or holy relics. And sometimes they, in fact, are invested with some spirit of goodness. But it's after one of these nights of long studying, Pierce, that you make it back to your room. There's a note slid under your door. It seems like the poor farmer, you're probably kind enough to pick one that doesn't have a wife and children, but maybe you weren't. There's a note left under your door in a very crisp, elegant hand that just says, "I know what you did."
Well, me too. Any other, just those phrases?
Nothing else. Just "I know what you did."
I will study the handwriting for a moment, make sure I commit it to memory.
Very elegant.
Yes.
Okay.
Is my sixth sense tingling any?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. I'll fold it up and put it in my pocket, and I'll be waiting to see who tries to kill me.
Or extort you.
They should just try to
Jake,
kill me.
during this time, what would Killian do in this quaint little village of wonderful, wonderful meals? You haven't been invited to so many homes before, so many families willing to share their hearth with you, and all of the family recipes of just very foreign foods that you're just not used to with your very cultured French palate, but wonderful nonetheless.
A bit of a Spanish flair to some of these dishes, I imagine. I suppose in between fine meals and cheap booze, he would be doing some psychic readings for people. Oh,
Wow.
I sense great presence in this area. And then he would speak directly to the ghosts of the deceased to sort of, ingratiate himself with the living as well as handle the business of the deceased.
Okay, yeah, so you shut up shop
if
a little
indeed
bit.
there are any.
Yeah, there are a few. It looks like this village, for the most part, was free of a lot of strife. There's not a lot of lingering dead around. There are a few. If you're actually holding proper seances, that you're able to contact some of living's ancestors and provide a few things here and there. So we'll say you do, make a little bit of money doing this as well. People don't seem to fear this at all. It seems to be a cultural thing in the area.
One of them seems to be a pretty recently dead.
Ignore that one.
No. And the way that one was sacrificed, that spirit's pretty much gone. Used in very bad ways. But Jake, I tell you what, roll a d10 times 10. That's how many dollars you pick up from the very happy populace that are willing to hear what their ancestors have to say. And, a lot of it is, old grandmothers telling you to pass on to their children that they really should have children by now. And why are you waiting? Your womb's drying up as we speak. Why don't you have children yet?
Some of those messages might be a bit sanitized, like, oh, she misses you very much, but she'll always look out for you. So $90.
$90. It's a very happy populace for you then. Daniel, what's Chance doing during this time? I mean, it's nowhere near as exciting as being wooed by a goth princess vampire, but
I know. I mean, like,
it's a nice little town.
I know that this might be reaching a little bit, but like, I know that there's like gun magic also. I don't know if that benefits my character class at all or not, but like, maybe like flicking out there to see what's out there.
Okay. Wandering around. I'll tell you what, make me a luck check.
Oh, gotta be kidding me.
Of all the times to get a roll like that.
All right. While there are some very intricately crafted firearms, there's firearms that are more display piece than anything else. You don't find anything that really calls to you or feels better in your hand than your own true ghost irons. So unfortunately, no, nothing that really stands out. Although do manage, if you wanted to look at the enhancement pages for holsters or anything you can do to your guns, you are welcome to have some work done because they have a great weaponsmith in town or a gunsmith in town. And a person that's very good with leather, if you wanted to get a really nice holster, that's in those pages as well.
I'll do a little searching. And possibly 2 out of 10, 2 out of 20. Sorry.
If Chance does find a gunsmith, I would like to have my my revolver converted to a cartridge pistol.
The Tranter revolver.
You can have this done while you're there. Yeah.
Excellent.
If you want to trick out any of your weaponry, just go ahead and do it. Not a problem. You guys are loaded with cash right now. So I'm not going to have you count beans or anything. You're loaded with cash. If you buy a lot of stuff, I'll say you're less loaded at some point. We'll just do it that way. Scabbers, I've got bad news for you, man. Your wonderful, wonderful cat. What did you name your cat?
Oh, it was
That was just Kitty.
It was just Kitty.
Yeah. Kitty passed away.
Oh, no.
Kitty passed away. You woke up one morning and a happy little puddle of boneless goop there. You scooped her up to greet her in the morning, and it's just black fur and liquid just pooling through your fingers. The kitty is no more.
I
That might be
guess,
the worst news we've had all campaign.
So,
well, I knew what I was planning on doing. I guess I'll ask Mr. Killian if you're not too busy. Does what you do work on animals too?
Yes, I remember droving some cattle with a ghost whip. I can be more gentle with goop cat spirits.
Thank you. Sorry to bother you.
I'll be sure to commune with the liquid cat to ensure that it's gone on to that great mouse hunting field in the sky.
Even the cat spirit is boneless and kind of gloops around like a gelatinous cube as well.
There was something wrong with you before the 7 days of night, wasn't there?
Scab,
Oh.
interestingly enough, the town is filled with children. And unlike some of the cruel, cruel children of the town that you came from before, these children do at first kind of laugh at you, but it's more like with you what you understand. And they start calling you the ox, not because of how you look, but the strength of your mighty neck and arms. And they ask you to play games with them, sports and smacking balls around and all kinds of things that you never got to experience much as, you know, a child miner and laborer before the walls fell down on you and killed you.
Oh, I'm a little slow to pick up the rules on some of the games, but that sure sounds real swell. You know what? I think I'll do. I did go and buy myself a nice suit. But I think the other thing I'll do is, well, I'll like sew together some like capes for everybody. Because I was gonna do some stuff with the luchadors here, so maybe I can put together some little lucha capes for all the other kids for when we're playing games.
Yeah, if the rest of you guys had forgotten or didn't pick, every time you advance in the level, you can pick 2 new skills that you guys have kind of been working on in fiction. So Scabbers has picked up being able to be kind of a needleworking person now. Very good at sewing.
Some of my stitches look. I redid some of my previous work on myself, so now maybe some of the stitch work is a little bit closer together, so it's not quite as.
It's all fancy.
It's still pretty horrific, but it's not as bad.
With all your new cash, you have found thread that matches your skin tone better.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. So, I mean, again, you guys kind of you're convalescing. So, you know, a lot of you are very, very badly hurt. So you're here for good week, and it's been a good time. But you know, you're starting to get that wanderlust, and you're also wondering, having acquired 3 pages out of the Necronomicon now, you're expecting any day for a certain one-eyed giant to guide you, but it's not really happened. And you don't know if you should be moving on or waiting for something to happen. Hiram meets you down in the common area of the inn you're staying in. They have wonderful breakfast here, the best coffee you've ever had. But Hiram's here, and he's looking a little grim. He tells probably Pierce, somehow, like the darkest members of the family, Hiram is kind of just taken to. Like Jebediah and Pierce are like his 2 favorite people for some reason.
Won't argue with that. Good morning.
So
Hiram.
over.
Which guy is this?
Takes his coffee black, no sugar, no cream. He's already got a carafe sitting there, you know, waiting for you guys to come down. This is usually how you start your mornings. He checks on your wounds and such as well. But he's looking bad. Doesn't look like he slept well. He's sweating a little. His hands
guy was
a little
this?
jittery.
This is that
Mormon. Sorry?
Revelator.
Hiram, he's the Mormon Revelator.
Oh, okay. At some point, I would drop the. I'm a huge fan of Justice Smith, but not a Mormon.
It's like, I respect that. Yeah, he's not a proselytizer at all, which is odd because everyone you've met out here usually are. He's not. Doesn't hide who he is, but doesn't try to convert anyone either. He tells you, well, I had another one of my visions last night, Pierce. It was bad.
What
I think this Hoffman, the Sheriff Hoffman's going to show up today. I got a shaky feeling inside that this is going to lead to somebody's death.
Just
But the Lord
sheriff
has
showing up?
decreed it. Well, it's what tidings the sheriff brings, I fear. I know he needs good men, a good party.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what it is that he's after, but I think before the day is out, we'll know.
without our usual point of guidance, we're rudderless at the moment.
Would you have shared your Cyclops friend the information with Hiram?
You know what? He seems like a pretty straightforward guy, and he's got a really good grip on all this bizarre stuff going on. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, he would have shared something about himself. Would explain why he's not proselytizing.
Yeah.
It's not his job. He's what's called a day knight. He is for Another another calling would be the fist of God. He's here to put down demons, devils, and those things that are possessing of good folk. That's his job.
Okay.
And occasionally, good Lord sees fit to send him on a certain path. And he's not certain about this one. You kind of get the idea that when he says that someone's going to die, he might feel like it's him. He says he's a little shaky, but he's still firm about things. And you guys kind of, best you can, after seeing what kind of state Hiram's in, you enjoy your breakfast, enjoy your coffee. Late risers come down after a bit. Jebediah is usually down early trying to see what the stagecoach brought in because, always looking for a gamble and a mark to hit up. But today, no stagecoach. Oddly, it's usually one daily. Instead, lone man rides in, and Hiram perks up. He finishes off his coffee and says, "This is the man."
Everyone, let's go greet him. I'll go out with Hiram. Good day, Sheriff.
He turns around and his eyes kind of narrow as he looks at you. He kind of slowly puts his hand on his vest because there's no star showing. And he says, "Yeah, you'd be correct, son, but how would you know that?" You see that his gun belt, missing several bits of ammo. He looks like he's almost out, but his hand kind of strays to that gun just a little bit.
Our holy friend here, Hiram, apparently your forthcoming is foretold by God himself.
He curses for a solid minute. And he's like, "I've had it here with all this spiritualism, occultism, all these weird things, and go straight back to hell and leave us good folk alone."
I agree.
Well, come on in. Let's get the dust off of you, and you can tell us what you need done.
All right. Yeah. I remember right. Rosie here's got some great coffee.
She does. She does.
Well, Hiram, I guess. He stands up, nods. Well, if you're cursed with all this gobbledygook, you know what's going on. You know what I need? Hiram kind of puts his hands up and says, No, Sheriff. I just knew you were coming, that you were in need. Why don't you explain exactly what it is that you're looking for? So Sheriff sits down, begins to explain. He has been on the trail of a group. It's a cult led by one Stefan Weber. The man has killed many, taken hostages, used them in dark rituals, leaving them dead behind. He's robbed trains to fund his organization. And he kind of passes around the wanted posters. And Jebediah, you notice that the price tag is pretty good. The local authorities are offering $100 bounty per hand of each cultist that's slain.
Ooh.
It's not even a question of bringing them back alive. It's the left hand of every cultist that follows a Mr. Stefan Weber. They will give you $100 for. Stefan Weber
snap some hands
himself has
off.
a $1,000
We don't need money, but that's pretty good.
bounty on his head. And Marshall Hoffman, what it turns out to be, lets you know that despite the amount of money that these posters are showing, there have been very few with the stones to help him out. He had a small group of hardy individuals a few weeks back, and they got into a small scuffle, enough that he knows what Mr. Stefan Weber's plans are. That they are expecting to have a ritual 3 nights from now, and he knows where that ritual has to take place in. Fortunately, during that scuffle, his elected posse were all killed in very brutal ways, which I will not go into an explanation of, sir. Certain things are not meant to be seen, heard, or retold.
Well, I promise you, sir, none of us are the sort to tolerate the ritual sacrifice of the innocent. We're going to stop this.
Absolutely not.
Just a gentle pat on Scout or Scab's back. Like, you tell him, boy.
Yeah.
God.
Pierce has a sudden bout of coughing.
It's never happened. Not never.
Oh, by the way, Chuck,
Yeah.
move your track one over to the
Yeah.
path of darkness.
Yeah, I am +1 on the damned.
Yes.
That's fair.
That's
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Fortunately, your son has 4 intelligence.
That's fair.
Okay. So, Mr. Holy Man, I suppose that you're willing to join up on this, and Hiram kind of pats his gun and says, Lord has directed me to be here, Mr. Hoffman. I will be glad to join your posse. I've got a good steed. I got my gun and several bullets, and I've got the might of the Lord behind me. My new friends that I have been ministering to these last few days, well, that's up to them. And he kind of puts a warm, friendly hand on the back of Pierce and on the back of Jebediah. They're good, godly men. I'm sure they'll do the right thing.
as always.
Yep.
Ivan will walk up behind and pat them both on the backs really hard as well, kind of leaning over this man, kind of over his shoulder from behind, like, of course they will. We are all good men here.
Ivan's probably the latest getting up. You know, he never starts off too early.
Well, he gets up very early, but then he does 1,000 Hindu squats.
Yeah, and then he goes back to bed because he's exhausted afterwards.
I've literally I just do push-ups till I sweat my butt off, and then I go back to bed and cool off, and then I wake up and eat meat.
Yes, and milk, meat and milk.
Meat and milk.
Well, Marshall Hoffman kind of looks over, waiting for you guys to decide.
As Hiram stated, we're in.
Oh, this is going to be great.
I'm for it.
Okay.
A
Once he gets
few
agreement
good
from
guys to
everybody,
do a good thing.
it says it's about a day's hard ride from here. It's 3 days, and that night before the ritual goes off. Now, I know where it's going to be, and I've been riding hard to get here. I'm going to need a day of rest. My horse is going to need to be seen too, is my rig. He kind of pats his gun. But first thing tomorrow, we ride hard. We got a canyon we got to reach by the end of tomorrow evening.
Very well.
I guess that means a lot of us probably need horses too, then.
I'm sure we could rent a lovely coach or just some horses, I guess.
Yeah, when you say coach, the marshal's like, no, we're riding hard, fella. I got horses. Might be able to acquire some.
I'll be sure to get some padding for my pants. I am debilitated as far as saddle. I'll work it out.
If it weren't for the fact I don't think I would have brought it on the train ride. Of course.
Did anyone have any permanent injuries?
My knee.
My butt.
Yeah, I'm down. I
Well, your
forget
butt
which-
is not really
Hey,
debilitated.
you're down a cheek, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mr.
Right.
Killian.
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah,
Not much
we all
suspension
have-
on that.
we all have problems.
Your knee is
Yeah.
healed. Hiram took care of it during the last
nice.
5 days.
I think I noted what stat permanently got hit as well.
That would have been
God.
agility, I thought.
I think it was their agility.
Yeah. I lost
Yep.
a lot of stats. Yeah.
Well, not just from shooting your knee off, but
Yeah.
No, he repairs your knee.
Okay.
Without too much of an issue. The tissue grows back. If you were down a permanent stat loss, the stat will regain itself over the normal course of rest.
Okay. Cool. Okay, yeah, well, let's get horses with lots of padding.
Yep. Marshall says he'll take care of it.
I will need a very big horse.
So
Practically
get you a
are a horse,
mule.
Ivan.
There you go, like an ox or something.
More like a bear.
So let's assume you've had time to do any upgrades to your guns that you wanted to. You've refreshed your food stores. If there's anything else you want to have picked up, let's just say you have anything reasonable. You can tell me you just reloaded here. Owela is not a wealthy town, but it's kind of, you found it because it's kind of a crossroads town. You kind of have to go through it to reach other places, and because of that, there's a lot of merchants that come through with money. They have good alcohol here too and good food. People like to stop here. So while the town itself isn't abundantly rich, there are rich folk that come through that you could have been trading with. So anything reasonable, we'll say, that you've done. You have a goodly amount of money. I will tell you when that goodly amount starts to get less goodly. Assuming you're not buying cannon and ships, we will assume that it's well within your funding to get your ammo and everything upgraded. The next morning then, Marshal Hoffman has provided everybody with good, strong horses. He checked over them himself. He said it's a straight shot up to a canyon that he knows that the right is going to be taking place in. They're going to be doing it at the bottom of the canyon. His idea is that he wants to ambush them, get to the top of the canyon so that you've got the high ground, because everyone knows the high ground is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to fire down upon them, have them boxed in to this canyon when they start the ritual. At least that's what he would like to see happen. All right. Let's assume all your preparations have been made. Who at this point has the lowest luck score, please?
It's probably me still with an 8.
Okay, please make a luck check.
Yeah.
And then roll a d6.
Luck check. Fail.
Okay.
And then a d6. That's a 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
Okay. You set off with Marshal Hoffman in the lead. He rides hard. You're having to move a great deal of distance between this morning and the end of the night to be able to get to the place in time to set up an ambush. Everybody, I want a skill check made here. Okay. Being able to know how to keep your horse at this kind of frantic pace, but still know not to, wear them out, to be able to keep your seat, that sort of thing. Anybody that has a background where horse riding, like certainly the gunslinger, yeah, you're rolling with a d20. Otherwise, if you don't have a particular reason to be very good with horses, you're rolling at a d10.
I did take riding as one of my skill things earlier. Yeah.
There you go. So everybody, please make me a skill check on your riding ability.
Is that agility based?
Yeah, we'll call this agility based.
Oh my gosh.
Or strength, actually. You can use strength as well.
Ooh.
I'll take that.
But I rolled horribly.
Say D10 for an untrained?
It is a d10 for untrained.
Yeah, you can roll.
So-
you can hit the U button on the sheet
Yeah.
for untrained.
Okay.
Jebediah. I'm looking for 5s. If anybody made
Oh,
less than a
goodness.
5.
Oh no. A couple ones in there.
So Jebediah and who else got lower than a 5?
I think I want to buy
Ivan
one
did.
on that.
All right, well, let's do it this
Mules
All
way.
looked
right.
good.
I got about a reroll.
Somebody got a reroll. All right. So those of you that failed, anybody that got a 5 or less than a 5, you just aren't very connected to your horse. Your backside is sore. You're going to be -1 to all your rolls until you can get like a really good night's rest. Your backside's aching. It's playing hell on your joints. Now, did anybody only get like a 1? Did anybody like really do badly?
I got a 1, but then I had burnt luck, so I got 5.
All right, Good enough. So
I got
nobody's
2
horse.
4s.
All right. So Chance is just hating it. He's absolutely hating it. We'll probably say for Chance what it is. He's not used to this type of
Not
saddle.
my horse.
Not your horse, and it's not the type of saddle that you're used to. So yeah, it's just all off, and you're just hating life. But nobody got a 1, so nobody's horse went lame. Nobody's horse died of exhaustion. Everybody is able to keep it in check, and you get to, as the sun's descending, at the end of the day, after a hard ride with very few stops, you find yourself at top of a mesa.
I'll be right back.
So, yep. Down below you, he points out, there's a confluence of some very mild streams that run across the bottom. And there's kind of like a small island in the middle where all the streams kind of meet. Now, when I say streams, he tells you that, you know, they're not much more than knee deep. There's kind of an island where they all kind of converge at the bottom of this canyon. And he said he's got it on very good authority from information he was able to get out from cultists that they were able to interrogate, that they were able to shoot without killing, that are being held till they get their day in court, that this is where it was going to happen. So by his reckoning, they're going to show up sometime in the morning, set up camp, and then have their ritual at night. Now, his idea is get them while they're setting up camp, while they're less able to or likely to fight back or notice anyone, and just get rid of them before the ritual even starts.
Okay.
All right. You guys want to do anything special?
Maybe a little gun deck maintenance.
Yep. Everybody that wants to check their guns, go ahead and do that. Make your check and then withdraw a card from your deck.
Every
An
5
ace or
you
an
get
eight.
to pull.
Every
ace or-
5, you get to pull an ace or an 8 out of your deck.
There's 1. Right on top.
Sounds right.
And there's another 4 cards in. And we reshuffle,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, then reshuffle. Yeah.
So I can put another ace on the top.
That's how it works with Chance. I mean, that's how he gets his
Mhm.
name.
Ace
All right.
and an ace
Is
in the first 4
anything
cards.
else you want to do?
Maybe a little scouting.
Okay.
Get a feel of
How so? What do you want to scout? Do you want to scout down there at the bottom of the canyon? Scouting up here? It's about a 20-foot drop to the canyon floor.
Well, scouting around there because he said that they're not showing up till tonight, correct?
In the morning. Now,
There's-
you arrived here at the night. They're supposedly showing up in the morning. They may show up at any time. You beat them here, but they could show up at any time.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to see if I can slink down there
Okay.
and see what I can
Um,
find.
Make me a luck check. Anyone that wants to scout the area, actually, make me a luck check.
All right, I'll try and help
I
my
want to
paw out.
scout as well.
That sounds like a good idea.
And some good shuffling sounds for everybody.
Oh, we did
Oh,
so bad.
boy.
Oh,
What? There's a nat 20 in there. That's great for luck.
So it's like it's the
Wow.
biggest guy and the smallest person.
So let's see. Scab and Ivan did very well. Both of you actually find a very well concealed trail. Someone actually has cut long ago. It's not recent, but long ago had cut a very steep set of stairs that's mostly covered by brush and is very well hidden, but it goes straight down to the bottom of the canyon. It's very well hidden up here, and when you go down to the bottom, also very well hidden down here as well. It's a lot of small brush has been overgrowing it. If you didn't know it was here or stumbled upon it, it'd be very hard to find, but makes it very easy to get down to the canyon floor. That's what you guys find. Killian, you trip and fall.
We might have to check
I
our
got
roll
it.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. So you rolled a 20, which gives you a hex. I'm not going to penalize you more, but you do literally trip and fall the 20 feet down. You splash into possibly the best bit of luck out of this, the deepest part of these converging little streams. So you don't take damage. I'm gonna have that hex be enough for you. But yeah, it is exhilarating to fall and land in what you're expecting to be the end
Exciting
of Killian.
is a technically accurate term for what happened.
So Killian has inadvertently found a very deep area of these little streams.
Might be
Just
great.
off.
I have found some drinking water if anyone wants some.
Oh, that gives me an idea.
What's that?
Like when we very first started, we actually got me some weights that I could tie on as a belt
Oh,
because I can hold my breath for a long time. Seeing as I'm no good with guns, maybe that's how I get up close.
we just plant you in the water beforehand and let you wait there, and when it's time, you erupt out.
It is
good thinking.
amazingly deep. And it is right next to the little island that is in the middle here as well. It's like right up to it. It's like a little sinkhole that is just filled with deep, deep water. It is fresh water as well. So yes, Killian, it was drinkable as you take it a lungful. Pierce, you just fail with nothing exceptional, so you don't find anything really interesting. But I will say, if you follow them down on that ancient set of stairs that were carved into this canyon wall some long time ago,
Yeah.
when you hit the confluence of these little streams and you stand on the island, your sixth sense goes off.
Okay.
Make me.
Yeah.
So you have one of your skills is some arcane knowledge, I believe, is one of the things that you have an ability for. I want you to make me a skill check on that.
Yeah. Did it roll? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, 17.
Okay. There is a ley line here. Likely
Oh.
why the ritual is going to take place here. It's weak. It hasn't been fully awakened yet. Most of the ley lines were awakened during these 7 days of night, but not all of them. So it's a little
Okay.
quiescent. It's there. Its power is available, but it hasn't been fully awakened. You're imagining
No.
the ritual is to do just that and to tap its power.
No.
Okay.
Jebediah with an 18. Not a failure, not a win. So you see nothing particular
No,
of
no.
interest.
All right.
Okay. So there's that. While you're doing that, Hoffman is basically, he's got a rifle he's sighting in, like he's taking a few shots to get the scope sighted in. His idea is that he's just going to take out the cult leader right off, and then his scumbag followers should be easy mop up once Weber goes down.
So it looks like they're going to try and set up mostly around this ley line. Like, is that the guess there, or like?
Well, it depends on whether or not Pierce shares the fact that there's a ley line here.
I would, once we kind of are all back in a spot where I can give that information. Yes.
Okay. So if that's going to be a spot where they're all kind of going to fold in on, I might just try and wait there and throw some cards.
Okay. There's not a lot of places to hide unless you wanted to dig yourself a hole. It's basically, you're looking at canyon walls, lots of rocks, small scrub vegetation, mostly bushes, but really low. There's really not a lot of places that you could conceal yourself. Unless you do like Scab and just dunk yourself into that sinkhole full of water.
I mean,
We'll dig
see
you a
if we can
hole
find
and
you a
cover
reed.
you up.
Now you could dig yourself a hole and make yourself like a little a foxhole or something like that and cover it up, but otherwise there's just not a great deal of
I'd
places.
probably
you could
start
hide.
doing that and then get some like brush and shrubbery around it.
Sure.
So I don't have to dig it all the way down, just like enough to get like up to my stomach, maybe.
I tell you what, do you have any particularly good skill at ambushing? I'm not sure if ambush falls under
Bushwhack.
your bushwhack.
Uh,
Make me a skill check just to see how well disguised that is, or at least how well you think it is. Your roll is going to be their
sure.
difficulty to spot it, is what's going to go on.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing. Are you going to make the hidden hole on the little island or off to the side and not quite on the island?
So I'm picturing it like kind of because it seems like they're going to come down like that staircase and then come to the island. I want to be like
actually, so Weber went to the top of the canyon. He's expecting they're going to go through it. So
Okay.
at the bottom.
they're coming
I
like down the
basically
bottom
am
of it.
looking to position myself at the edge of wherever they're going to converge on this ley line,
Okay.
on the opposite side of where everybody else in our party is. So I have like the biggest range.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Right.
So,
Yeah, that sounds great. And you make it a fantastic hiding place. Once you drop the lid on it, you really can't tell. It just disappears.
alrighty.
Perfect. Anyone else?
No. Once I'm done with my and I share my information, I'm gonna head back up to where the marshal is. And
I did my deck maintenance. I'm planning to shoot because that's what gunslinger do.
Okay, so Scab, you found that since you have no need to breathe, you can just take a big old lung full of water and sink, or you can just hold on to some stones to kind of keep you down there. It's pretty deep, deep enough that you can still see a little bit of light come down through the hole, and you can hear very muffled the voices of your friends talking. So you feel like you'd be able to know if someone were up there.
Yeah, I figure I'd probably either see some gun flashes or, Jebediah's nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually pretty obvious too.
Yep.
Okay.
When people start screaming, "Oh no!" That's what is happening.
Well, preparations made. I'll give you guys bonuses and possibly surprise if nobody screws up during the initial foray of things.
that's a big
I think
if.
But now it's just
I'll take the time to focus on a reflective surface, say the surface of the water, and step into the near.
you want to step into
Nice.
the near here.
Ooh.
Okay, first of all, that's a roll.
Mm-hmm. I had the formula here, and it'll be down a die size because I have a hex.
Oh yeah.
That's right. We start out with no hexes.
Yeah, he earned one by his luck roll. All right. I believe a 10 is good enough. Step over.
Alrighty, and I'll just
Yeah.
chill out here until the fireworks start.
So the near looks surprisingly very much like where you just passed, which is not all the case. A lot of times the near is very different because it's shaded by the emotions that are contained in the area. Typically in natural settings like this, they're pretty copacetic. They look very similar. It's only when you get into places where there's a lot of human involvement that there's a lot of difference. But the thing that you notice right off is that there is a creature here, a very large creature, an Ouroboros. It is a gigantic snake-like creature that is coiled around in the water, circling the island, biting its own tail. It's enormous, and it is not awake.
I will sit down quietly, and I'll have a mirror handy just in case.
Okay, so you're going to stay on this side. Make me. I'm not even going to make you make the luck check. You have plenty of time to contemplate the situation. Not only is the creature this enormous snake-like creature, like you would say maybe a snake dragon. It's not got limbs though. It's the thing that throws you off, but otherwise you would say, yeah, it's very draconic looking, but it's also chained. It's bound. It has a huge silver collar around its neck that is anchoring it in place. Even though it sleeps, it is bound as well.
Is this the only entity on this side of the veil?
It is, which is not surprising in a natural setting like this where there's not a lot of human involvement. Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Okay, yeah, I'll just sit on it then. Not on the actual creature, but
What a power move that would be, though. I mean, like,
hey, dummy.
I claim you in the name of France. Okay. Well, you guys have set up various things. You have no idea how long you have to wait. But through
Does your
the
camera
night.
work in the near?
What's that?
Does your camera work in the near?
Oh, wow. That I don't know. That would be fantastic.
Technology generally has a hard time working in the near, especially the more modern the technology. But if you want it to, why not?
good for the media.
That would be very interesting.
Look at these funny pictures we took.
As he loads up the flash rod with all
Yeah, the last thing I want to do is be like, okay, hold still.
Forget the ritual. Let's just go take a picture of it.
Yeah, there it is. Right there. Look at it.
Yeah. Because, there's no reason that people leave bound spirits in the near like this. I mean, it can't possibly be harmful, right?
No.
No.
Not at all.
It's a tourist attraction just for people in the near.
Evening comes. Hoffman doesn't want a lot of fire because he doesn't want to give away that anyone's here. So you eat a cold meal of beans and bread. The nights are a little chilly, but not too bad. Night comes and goes. You sleep in shifts here and there. No one's waking during the night. Everything seems to go just fine. A few hours into dawn, in the distance, you do see a caravan approaching the canyon. Down below, basically the ground level entrance that kind of goes between these canyon walls. There's a few wagons, mules, horses, a strange bunch, all dressed up in kind of raggedy cloaks, black and gold and red in color. You'd think almost like looking at it from this far away and seeing those wagons, you'd think it would be a group of performers, perhaps some kind of circus troupe, some entertainers would be your first thought. But you watch quietly.
Like poetic to today's earlier game.
Space
I didn't
clowns.
catch it. So.
Space clowns.
Oh, is that what it is? But you watch quietly from the edge of the canyon walls, serving as your shelter, as the cult moves about. They come into the canyon proper. They start setting up a camp. Very amber rays of the rising morning sun. It's a beautiful day. Skies are filled with clouds. A little chill from the night is starting to burn away. Weber and his group start to spread out, start to make camp, start to open up wagons, start cook fires. There's a group that comes across to the side of the canyon that Jebediah is hiding under. Jebediah, you can hear all this happening above you. You can make out conversation pretty well. I will actually roll, just on the case that somebody actually rolls a 20 as well. I will just make one roll, one single roll. No, you are not seen. But they start taking out large colored chalk. And they start just adorning the canyon walls with all kinds of odd symbols. Let's say you've got like a little peek hole there, Jebediah. You rolled really well. So you can kind of see this happening from above. You guys just see them doing something to the cavern walls or They're planting candles at certain points along the walls as well to illuminate whatever art they're putting there. Strange alien symbols, candles, a very odd smelling wax being burned. And then, shockingly, there's a cry of a young child. All of your attention is brought to one of the wagons where a small bound child, terrified, kind of hog-tied, hands and legs, was able to work off cloth covering her mouth and start screaming.
Under the breath, I'm like, fuck. But pretend like I don't hear that.
Okay. So Weber is sighting in his rifle, and he's telling everybody, you know, hand signals, hold. He's trying to make sure that the cult leader dies first. So he's trying to line up that perfect shot. So far, they don't seem to know that anyone is here. So total, Stefan Weber, who's the only one who's not dressed in robes. He's got actually a fine white suit on, very elegant polka dotted bow tie. Looks like any number of gamblers you've seen about, not casting dispersions on Jebediah at all. 8 followers that are kind of setting up camp. They look pretty normal. They're all kind of dressed in these red and black and gold cloaks. You know, heads are covered as well. And it is a little cold, so that's not too unusual. What is unusual, though, is the enormous, brutish cultist that goes, picks the girl up by her hair, and just bodily throws her back inside the wagon and slams the door shut. This is an enormous man, made more impressive by the fact that he has curved goat horns on the top of his head. He stands a good 7 feet tall. He's very broad, very muscular. His cloak is kind of open at the chest, exposing, you know, just muscles that Ivan might be envious of. Also, fur, not hair, fur on his chest.
Did Killian ever come back to tell us that he saw the
Nope.
giant thing? Okay, that changes my plans. Okay. Well, while he's telling us to hold, I am... No, I'm not going to do that. It's too loud. Never mind. I'm going to wait.
So they threw the girl like back into the wagon, so they're not.
Yeah, the mutated cultist just picked her up by her hair and just flung her back inside the wagon and just kind of shut the door.
Okay.
Where is the wagon at in relation to where I'm at?
You can peer
Or would
through
I be
the
able
mirror,
to see it?
Well, yeah, you can peer through without making a roll to see where you are on the other side. So they've set the wagon with the girl that's in it right on the small island. When I say small, the island is no more than like 15 feet radius. And then these just shallow water all around it, except for the one deep hole that Scabber has dropped himself into. So it's on the island. They're kind of all there. All the cultists and Weber are just kind of setting up. Actually, the normal looking cultists, 8 of them, are still painting the canyon walls around this little island, setting up little candles and niches, painting strange symbols all over the place.
I'm going to climb up into the driver's seat of the wagon while still in the near.
The wagon doesn't exist on this side.
All right. In that case, I'll just get as close as I can to the driver's seat.
Usually physical objects, unless they are old and in place in situ for a long time, do not show up in the near.
Gotcha.
Especially if they're new and modern, and unless you bring them across. Yep. So you're just kind of peering out from the near into normal and kind of seeing this, kind of looking. It's like almost like you're gazing into like the reflection in the water, so you can kind of see what's going on.
All right. Well, I'm just going to try to wait until I'm sure nobody's looking.
Okay. So everybody seems to be waiting. Marshal Hoffman looks like he's sighted in his rifle as he's kind of settling in. He very slowly and very carefully puts the bullet in. You notice that the bullet, it's silver, glints in the sun, and has some kind of runes etched around it.
I'll
He
say
just slowly and very quietly shoves that into the rifle.
the main thing I'm gonna do. I'm just waiting for like gunfire to
Something.
go off.
Yeah.
And then the second that happens, I'm gonna try and like run, and then my goal is to get the girl, throw her in the foxhole, and then start drawing cards.
Okay. Currently, you saw that the girl was thrown back into the wagon and the door closed, so she's not out right now.
Right.
Lowest luck in the party, I think, is still Pierce. Pierce, make me a luck check.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be great. No.
Oh boy.
Nope.
Okay.
The canyon
Uh,
wall collapses and we all fall to our deaths.
Marshall has been setting up, has been taking aim. Weber down below is starting. He's pulled out it looks like his own set of robes, much nicer than the rest of his cultists, very ceremonial, and he's starting to don his robes when the marshal takes a shot. I see +2 more. He was aiming. So the crack of a shot registers through the night. And a couple of things happen. So first of all, Jebediah, you hear the crack of a single bullet fire. Are you waiting?
I'm waiting for the second shot, or like when it seems like stuff really
Waiting for
is
the second shot.
erupted. Yeah.
Okay. So after Hoffman is pulled the trigger, is anyone doing anything right away, or you want to see what happens to his shot?
I will start preparing my journey back across the veil.
I'm going
Okay.
to cast.
Takes me a
spell.
moment to focus. And
And I would
Cast
look,
your spell. Jake,
Are-
make your roll. Scab.
are there any cultists next to the water that I'm in?
The big brutish one is.
I'm tempted, like just slowly. The crook of the shepherd's thing is coming up, and my hope is to like hook him by the neck and pull him into the water
Okay.
when he's not
You-
expecting it.
Make me a melee attack roll -2, just because you're having to slowly ascend, and but make me a melee attack roll at -2. Ivan, are you waiting for action, or are you doing something?
I think I don't know any different about what all is going down there and who's going to be shooting, and I don't want to run in the way of guns, so I'm going to hang back for a moment.
Oh God!
Ivan has learned tactics.
Oh no!
Okay.
I made a huge mistake.
Oh, no.
We're all making mistakes. Double fumble.
Killian also does not do well. Okay, so here's what happens
God.
in this order.
I
The
was gonna
shot
say,
rings
sorry.
out. There's a heartbeats moment. Those of you that are watching, so Ivan and I'm sorry, I didn't ask you, Daniel. Is Chance doing something as soon as that shot is fired, or are you waiting to see
After
what
the
happens?
shot, I was going to shoot too.
Okay, so like as soon as you hear the shot,
Yeah, like
okay, who are you shooting at?
same guy.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Nope.
Did you get an ace?
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's probably good for you in this case, Chance, because here's what
Alrighty.
happens. As I was saying, in this order,
I
the
pulled
martial
two
shot
aces-
rings out.
2 aces out
Chance
of my deck now.
pulls the trigger on his gun, and it simply clicks as a misfire happens.
It's
So-
spirit rounds in it, so
Marshall shoots. Those of you that are not taking the action, wait to see what happens. Weber is struck. He takes one step back, but something happens. The bullet returns on the exact same trajectory,
Oh God.
going through Hoffman's scope, exploding out of the back of his head
Oh,
as
God.
the marshal dies.
Oh boy, maybe I got lucky then.
You did.
Oh wow. Oh no.
Ivan just
There's
sees
like
a
a
tiny.
split second where Chance is like, "Did I shoot it? No, okay, that wasn't me."
Ivan just hears the crack, sees a dot on his forehead, and rushes over and shakes him, going, "Marshal, are you okay?"
Yeah, and
Oh,
blood
God.
and brains just spews out of the back of his head as that caliber bullet just went right through. Small entry wound in the front, big exit wound in the back.
Oh,
Yeah. Ivan turns to everybody else and just goes, "He's not okay."
no, he's not.
Thank you,
It
Dr.
wasn't me this time.
Do we get to
Second
roll
thing
the
that
body?
happens, Scab, as you were no.
Oh God.
Scab, yes, as you're slowly reaching up and you get that crook, you get it way up there and it's about to go around this creature's neck, and it seems to sense something. Just as your crook goes around its neck, it flexes the mighty sinews on its neck, which like doubles the neck in size, which cracks your weapon, and the force of him jerking forward hurls you out of the water onto the dry land.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, crap.
Oh, there goes the magic weapon on top of everything. Wow.
All right, so Jebediah, so far you can't see clearly everything, but there's only been one shot,
Mhm.
and so you said you're waiting,
I'm waiting for like commotion to break out for me to like.
and there's no commotion yet.
Yeah.
Killian fails to step across, so that unfortunately was your surprise round, and now we're into normal initiative.
Oh,
That was the
So
worst surprise round ever.
Yeah. On
It
my
was.
my spell,
was.
I did fail, but I lucked it up, so it's not a loss.
We
okay, I
gained
forgot. I'm sorry,
nothing.
I
That's
forgot.
okay.
Pierce, what was the spell that you cast?
I was just gonna cast my shadow armor, armor of
Okay,
darkness.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
I hit low enough. It was
Also
lost
failed,
failure,
and-
so I lucked up by 1 point to get me to just
So that you
failure.
didn't lose it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a horrible surprise round,
Yeah,
guys.
we did real bad.
Horrible.
Real bad.
We gained literally nothing from that surprise round.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. Guys, go ahead. Roll your initiative.
In fact, we lost ground on that surprise.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was just rough.
And
Hey,
I was gonna suplex everybody.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
we're doing okay on initiative.
He'll do his flying drop kick from the top of the canyon. Just, just crush.
They don't call me the
Legs.
falling star for nothing.
Okay.
Belly
The turn order thing is kind of messed up. So Chance, you got a 17, is that correct?
I got a 22.
You got a 22. Are you on here twice? You're not on here twice. I'll put it in. 22.
Yeah.
I got a
don't know
12.
if I have my token right, maybe.
I got a
Jebediah?
19.
You got a
19.
19. Okay. Ivan.
20. It's in there.
20. Nice. Okay. It's in there twice. Let me throw out that one. So that was Ivan. Scab.
10 should be in there.
Yep, I see it. Let me throw out that one. Killian.
3 also in there.
3. Okay. Let me throw. I've got multiples in the chart, so I'm throwing some out.
Okay.
Pierce.
13.
That's in there. And Scab, what did you say you had?
10.
A 10. Okay, that is correct. Okay. So, top of the round. So, Chance, click. Your round doesn't go off, and then you see the back of Hoffman's head explode as his ammo came right back through his scope. What do you do?
Makes me feel a lot more nervous about just shooting now.
Yep. Now remember, even though you've got ghost rounds, you still have to either clear your chamber or spend the personality to reload instantly.
Oh yeah, I guess that's jammed. So I guess I spend a round clearing the chamber because I don't have a whole lot of personality to spend on loading, and I might need it.
Okay. Ivan Hoffman is dead. Whole back of his head is gone. Mormon preacher man Hiram comes up and he's about to lay on hands and he sees the back of the head. He's like, oh, just shakes his head.
Honestly,
What do you do?
Shooting him. So
well, after doing the sign of the cross and then I'm going to turn. I was just going to turn and look down there. Now the stairs. How far away are the stairs that we found?
I'm going to say that you guys position yourself so you can get down very close. You can actually get. It will take one round to get down there, but you're well protected while you're on the stair. Like the rock actually protects you on your way down, but it will take an entire round to get down there. Or you could leap.
How far down is it again?
20 feet.
20 feet.
It's only 2d6, man.
You know what?
It's 20
This
feet
guy-
elbow
the-
power.
Now the big guy is right next to the water, right? Because
Yes,
he
he is.
tossed Scab out.
Mm-hmm. He just did this huge kind of flex with his neck and just yanked the crook up out of the water, and he broke the crook, and Scab came up with it. He's flopping around on the shore now like a fish.
Okay, I've seen him disrespect Scab, and he's killed this poor man of justice. I'll kind of lay him back down, cross his arms across his chest, do the sign of the cross, and then turn towards the edge of the cliff and just tell everyone, this cannot stand. And I take a running leap. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use one-man army.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my signature double heel kick off the side of the cliff, aiming directly for this guy's chest.
So if you do it that way, you will take fall damage because there's nothing that protects you from that fall. If you use the leap power, however, you could still end that as an attack and your landing is safe. I'm just throwing that out there.
You're talking about using bounding leap instead of the other one. You know what?
Yep.
That's maybe a good idea because I don't know what the distance away from the canyon wall he is. So a regular jump may not be far enough actually. So yeah, let's do that.
Bounding leap.
Let's do that. Bounding leap.
Yeah, the bounding leap
into the water.
Bounding leap covers your end result of that. But there is a roll you have to make with a negative to make that an attack at the end. And I assume you're going for the mutant. Is that what you say?
Just straight for the chest. Yep. And it's let's see, bounding leap -2, but damage is +1 with 20% chance per level of knocking the target prone on a successful attack. Okay.
Ooh. So 80% chance of knocking him prone.
And I've got a +2 modifier anyway, so it's just a flat roll basically at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. I hope this works.
You got it.
Just throwing it out, his AC is 16, so let's see it.
Oh, I need to well, this will roll my lucha die anyway.
17.
It's a 4 on the lucha die.
You got a 4. You got a 4 as well. Roll a D100. 80% and less, you knock him prone.
96.
Okay.
That is one tough dude.
What is your standard maneuver when you choose not? If you choose not to state one, what is your standard maneuver? Because you did hit your lucha die on that.
Let me roll. I got to swing down here. It was
Looks like your 2-hit roll and your damage die didn't include the lucha die.
They never do.
Yeah, it never does.
Yeah, it doesn't. So yeah, damage roll doesn't include it.
It should, but it does not. Yeah,
but it doesn't.
So
Yeah.
it's 8 points of damage off the top. But what is your special maneuver? Like, just choose it now if you haven't already. And this is what is used whenever you forget to call.
I did last time. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
I'm fine with you changing it each session as long as you just pick and then that's it for the session. And then that's what happens if you forget to state something.
Yeah, like I always go with free bleeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, this would be just like a standard like one of the lucha moves, right?
Yeah.
One of the signature moves.
Yeah, just pick which one is your normal signature when you don't choose something else.
I want to say it was. I want to say it was the arm drag last time. I'll just stick with
Sure.
that.
All right. So what does a result of 4 on the arm drag do for you?
4 is the opponent is thrown 1d6 plus 1 feet from the luchador and must make a DC 14
Oh, guess what's right nearby?
saving throw. It's
Okay. I'm going to do
reflex
something
saving
interesting
throw.
here. So first of all, he's going to do his reflex saving throw. He needs
Even
to clear
if you don't
14.
get him prone,
He does not.
You might throw him in the water.
He fails, even though he is a solidly built man or creature. He's more creature than man. As you hit him, he's like a brick wall. But that arm bar that you throw, he wasn't expecting that, and so he takes several steps back and plunges into the water. He falls into that deep hole that Scab was hiding in.
Okay.
And you end up doing.
What is it? 8
Go
plus an extra 1 damage for the leaping bound.
Yep. So 9
Down
points of
leap.
damage. And
So 9
And
points
does
of damage.
does the arm bar do any extra damage other than making them move from you?
It doesn't do any extra damage, but it does knock them prone and offers a +2 bonus attack or attack to bonus
Sure.
2 attack for the rest of the round, or
Okay.
until he's not.
He
prone
falls into
anymore.
the water and he sinks, is what happens with him, though. But yeah, you do some damage
Ooh.
to him.
Alrighty.
So that was Ivan at 20, Jebediah at 19. There still has only been one gunshot, but you hear, actually,
There
there's
more
probably not much
scuffling?
of a scuffle. There's probably not much of a scuffle because Ivan just leaped, 20 feet down, 10 feet across, and just arm barred this guy. So you hear a big splash, is what you hear.
Okay. What have we seen the cultists be like armed with? Do we see like guns on their hips or anything like that? Do they seem to be?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm going to say that you were able to
hoods.
sneak a peek. Yes, they all have pistols, except for that huge brute of a cultist has some kind of like iron baton on his side, kind of like a mace.
Okay. He's getting a little antsy. Heard the gunshot. Hear a splash of someone falling into the water. I think that's enough that he's just gonna throw the hatch open and just run as fast as he can to the caravan and do his best to, like, however many turns it takes, get the person out of the caravan into the foxhole and then shut it on them, and then I'll start drawing cards. So if I can
getting to the wagon, getting to the door, that's going to take your action. When you get to the door, you notice that it when he slammed it shut, it had a lock. So that ends your turn. When you get there and you notice, oh crap, it's locked.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? We'll call that movement. Do you want to deal with the lock? I'll let you deal with the lock this action as well if you want.
Sure.
Lock pick it, break it, shoot it. What do you want to do?
I'll throw a card at it and see if that breaks it.
Sure.
All right.
As he destroys the girl inside with a torrent of fireballs from the heavens.
Right.
No, I'm just doing the magic missile one. Hopefully.
You think?
I mean, odds are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
5.
Okay. Yeah, it's enough.
So,
it busts the
magic
lock
missile.
open. Yep.
Awesome.
So yeah, it destroys the lock. The door flies open. The little girl is kind of bundled and kind of shaking. She seems her eyes are kind of glazed over. She doesn't seem to react to the fact that the door is open or even really see you. She's just kind of in her own little space, huddling, terrified. And we'll say that that's your turn. That was Jebediah. Pierce still up top on the canyon walls.
I am going to start heading down. I'm going to go down those stairs.
Yep.
I'm gonna.
So it'll take you a full round to get down there, full action, but you're protected on your way down.
I'm only going to use just my movement, so I'll get halfway there.
Okay.
Because I also want to try and recast Armor of Darkness.
Ah, nice. Go for it.
19 on that. So that is going to. So the effect is I get a +2 to my AC. And I get some sunlight protection and a +3 to stealth. And I can see in the dark.
Okay.
But the effect of it is I also, as I finish casting the spell, I throw up a large puddle of green mucus. If anyone needs to, this mucus will be here for a little bit.
You gotta love mercurial effects.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if you eat any of it, it heals you a D10. So,
He's like a mama bird
I am.
offering up some nutritious
It's
vomit.
gonna baby bird it right to us.
so yeah,
Right.
it does take my
In which
AC up
case,
to
you
18.
cast, you move, so you're halfway down. You actually can't see what's going on at this point because
fine.
the walls of the stairs cover you completely. You have got 100% cover, but it also means you can't see what's going on. Their turn at a 12. We're going to start off with Weber, who's going to cast at Ivan.
Oof.
Let's see. +6. Okay, here we go. Oh, Ivan, make me an agility save versus 18, please.
You got this. You got this.
Positive thoughts.
Ropes of black lightning in the shape of a lasso come from his palms, and they kind of circle and enwrap you as he pulls, knocking you prone and shocking you for 7 points of damage as he continues to drag you towards him. So you are considered held or bound. You need to release yourself from the grip of the lasso, or he's just going to continue to do damage to you until you are released.
Okay.
That is his turn. Big brawny mutant, can't swim. So he's going to make an unskilled attempt to get out of the water.
God.
This may have been our saving grace right there.
He just drowns.
Oh, okay. So this is one round where he hasn't started drowning yet because he's got quite enough of a, but he may drown. He may drown. May drown.
One shot KO.
Yeah. So the other 8 cultists, though, unload into Ivan's taking care of Scabber and Jebediah. They're going to 4 of them are going to shoot at Jebediah, 4 of them are going to shoot at Scabbers because they got no other targets.
Oh God.
Unfortunately, I've failed
My
to
lord.
engage them in combat yet.
I'm just gonna shoot these out here real quick. All right. So that second person doesn't get anything. He's all right. 3, 4. So 3 of the 4 actually get their shots off against Jebediah. Jebediah, what's your AC?
14.
Higher because you leveled up. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Bonus.
Wait,
Yeah, you
what-
get a
what is-
+1 AC every level.
And I'm not.
10.
I'm not wearing anything though.
10
It
plus
doesn't
your
matter.
agility,
You get a +1
plus
to your
level.
AC for every level.
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
plus your agility.
Yeah,
plus
14.
level.
I don't have any armor or anything.
What's your
You
Did
don't
you
have
get
agility
branded?
bonus?
Does
So-
it
Agility
brand-
is 9. Oh, does the brand?
Yes.
The brand isn't permanent.
So it's been a
It was
week
for like a
since you
month.
branded. Yeah, so it's still in effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so what is your
did that
current
give me
AC?
AC?
Yes. It gives you 1. So if normally you're
Okay.
14, you'd be 15.
15
Okay.
then.
So 17 still hits.
Yep.
So the first cultist does hit you with their heavy pistol.
Oh,
God.
All right. So first one does 10 points of damage to you.
Oh my
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
I'll put out there that brand that you have does give you 3 points of armor reduction or damage reduction as well.
okay. That's
So
that's
7
good.
points. Second one misses.
Okay.
Third one on you hits. And does 5 points of damage with your reduction.
Okay.
All right. Now the
You
Should have
four,
11 out of
That's a little
23.
bit burnt.
the four that are shooting at Scabbard. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So all four guns go off.
Oh boy.
And you're prone.
Doesn't that make
You
it
haven't had a
harder to
chance.
shoot?
Isn't that
That
harder to be
makes
shot?
it better for you. It makes it
Good.
harder for them, better for you. All right. So first shot misses. What is your AC?
16
hit.
before, yeah, 19 is going to hit
Yeah.
regardless.
7. So 4 points of damage. You were
Okay.
branded 2, right?
Yep.
I think we're all branded at this point.
Everyone but
3.
me is
Oh, that's a crit.
Ooh.
That's a crit.
That's, yep, okay.
Okay. So no damage from the regular. However, the crit. Okay, here we go. That's not too bad. Are you righty or lefty, Scabs?
I would assume righty.
All right, you're gonna take 7 points of damage to your weapon hand. You're at a -1d penalty with any actions using that hand until it's treated, which basically means that you get a chance to shove meat into it.
Okay. Okay.
But that is full 7 points of damage as it blows a big chunk out of your hand.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And there's still one more shot to go.
7 minus 3.
Oh, that's gonna hit.
Well, yeah, because even if it's a +2, that would hit.
Yep. Here we go. No mods because you're prone. Wait, no, sorry. That's not the damage. That's not the damage.
Good.
5 points of damage as they shoot you somewhere else. Okay, that's all of my go. Weber still has Ivan bound up and is shocking him with black lightning. The cultists are opening fire, and big burly cultist is may start drowning next.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
I feel
so
like we're a
Scabber-
little upside down.
Okay.
Scabber, you're up. You're
All
being
right.
shot at, and your good hand's got a big old hole in it.
I've got an idea. So I've been around Pierce for quite a while now. Like, Scab may not be the smartest guy in the world, but like I've seen most of the time, if you want to do your magic sort of thing, you gotta be able to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I have something that I've thought about doing, but I've been avoiding it because I was trying to keep myself normal. But I think I've been doing this long enough to just accept I'm not a normal little boy anymore. So I'm gonna just like let some of that stitch come loose a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and invoke the Dead Poke, Dark Inheritance, and I'm gonna do a different quirk than normal. I'm gonna do the Strangler quirk. Well, I'm gonna look at him. You gonna tie up my friend? I'll tie you up too, and I'm just gonna reach in, rip open. Remember when you shoved all that gold in me, Dad? Got a nice big stitch right there. I'm gonna rip it open and pull out my own intestines. And I'm gonna run over to that cult leader, and I'm gonna wrap my intestines around his throat, and I'm gonna choke him with my own intestines.
Terrified.
Oh my God.
Because that's normal.
That's legitimately in the book. That is in the book. It's
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
That's terrifying.
All right, I believe it's a
Just so
melee
you guys
attack
know,
roll, right?
Ivan might soil himself again.
We all
Oddly,
ourselves.
Weber is nonplussed at the fact that you reached into yourself and pulled out vast bits of your own internal organs to strangle him with. It doesn't seem to phase him, but go ahead and make the attack roll.
I'll give it a
I
try.
believe you need to.
Yeah, I'll just use the Cyclops crook because it's got the same
That's fine.
base. No bonus to the attack or anything. It's mostly just if I.
He has an AC of 17 because he is not a first level occultist.
Man, I'm just botching all over. I mean, that's not a botch, but I just can't
Yeah.
pull anything off.
We're not doing so hot today.
Nah, just
Okay.
hot garbage tonight.
The rolls are against you.
I used up all of the
Um,
Lycan aliens earlier today and still died.
Killian, seeing all the action through your kind of pane of glass as you're looking onto the foggy scene, almost like a very poorly received television channel. What do you want to do?
I'll try again. Well, I'll try again to step across into the physical world.
Okay, go ahead. He's just gonna stay there the whole session. Watch. All right, that makes
Roll
it, I
it.
believe. 10 is it's actually easier than normal to step across here. So you got it.
Yeah, I'd also imagine there's not too many witnesses for me trying to
Nope.
come back. So
Yeah.
All right.
You step across. Make
That
me a
is
luck
my-
check.
oh boy.
Okay. A 6 is less than your luck, so you make it. You happen to appear, luckily, not in front of any of the occultists, instead behind a group of 4 that were firing at Jebediah. So you are not directly in their line of sight or shot. So there we go. That is the first round, guys. Go ahead and initiate for the second, please.
Maybe second round will be our round.
Maybe not suck this round.
Oh my god.
Okay, we got some better rolls out there.
Okay.
Oh, initiative. I slay on initiative. It's just doing anything after that is where I'm bad at.
Oh,
Oh, that hurts, Joe.
I know.
All right, is everybody good?
Yeah.
All right, descending. We have, come on, 25 chance you're at the top. Your gun's clear.
Yeah. Maybe I'll shoot at some of the cultists to thin the herd because I'm still not actually sure about shooting at the lead guy at this point.
Well, that and he's in melee now with Scab.
Right. So like
Yep.
doubly so, I'm not so sure about shooting at him, but the rest of them,
Mhm.
you know, they're kind of.
So effectively, there are 2 groups. There's one group that's training fire on Jebediah, and a group that was training fire at Scab. They may be less willing to do so now that Scab has entered melee with their leader. So which group are you firing at?
I mean, I feel like they're all going to be shooting at the Jebediah at this point. So we'll start with the people who are shooting at him first, and we'll go from there.
Go for it.
I'll draw the cards up first.
Yeah, I was going to say draw the cards first. And
Jack of spades. And an 8.
oh, wow. One shot goes off. Go ahead.
Oh, Dan. You need to play a class other than Gunslinger.
I
That's
just
just
need
not
to-
your class.
I just need to watch the game at this point, like just not play anymore.
Oh,
Oh, see, so where you're going wrong here is that you're using 2 forms of chance-related objects, dice and cards. You need to limit that.
Yeah.
I got a good roll on my Deadeye die at least.
So that's a 17 on your attack roll then, because it didn't add in the die, right?
That's
Okay, well,
not-
their AC for the standard cultist is only a 13. And so how much damage did you do?
It would be 9 damage, and if
You
that's-
shoot one of them right through the head, and he goes down. So you take out one of that group.
It'd actually be a little more with the jack, but then I
And
misfired.
and then you misfire. It was a ghost round though, right? So no
It
hex
is.
token. It just
Now I've had 2 aces and 2 8s out of my deck.
there you go. That's
Eventually,
only
I'll
4 to
have none
go.
left.
Ivan, you
I got
need
4
to
more?
either break out of the lasso or do something else while you're attached to the lasso. Up to you.
Okay, is breaking out an agility thing or a strength thing?
It is a
I'm thinking
strength.
strength.
It is a strength, and it is versus the lasso instead of him. Unfortunately, the lasso is enhanced by his own mystical might, so you need to beat a 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ivan doesn't think much about. He's just starting to learn about tactics, so he's still pretty brutish. He thinks in terms of strength. So
Your
being
powers are
pissed
also
off.
not.
Go ahead.
Your powers are also not spells, so the fact that you're bound does not keep you from using your powers. Just so you know.
Excellent. That's what I was wondering. Okay, so being pissed off that he got brought to the ground and with this devious trickery instead of hand-to-hand combat,
Mhm.
Ivan would immediately activate one-man army,
There you
and
go.
he's just going out. He's tired of this already. So one-man army, and he is going to. Oh, I'm sorry, not one-man army. What am I talking about? Not one-man army. Strength of the bull.
to get your
Yeah.
to get your strength up. Yeah.
Sorry, strength of the bull. So anyway, and then he's gonna try and just rip out of this thing. Just brute strength it. Let's see here. So what do I... Okay, so let me roll my lucha die first, which I believe my lucha die now is a... I think it's like a D6, isn't it?
Hang on.
At fourth
What,
level? Yeah,
your
D6.
fourth level?
Okay. Roll
Yeah.
D6. So I'm going to roll to see how many rounds it lasts.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. It doesn't matter. It's a D3 plus class. So, okay. So it lasts for 5
4
rounds.
5 rounds. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and make
Okay,
that
so
strength
the last
check
for
with your
5
new
rounds.
augmented strength.
All right. Strength here. Oh, so
Boom!
that's actually a 23 with the +1 because I didn't get a chance
Okay,
to put it in there.
Here's what I'm going to say. That's a crit. You rolled a 20. I'm going to give you another action. You casually just shrug the lasso off. It doesn't take anything. Take another action.
How far away is he from me?
Flex your
10 feet?
muscles and it just
10
Yeah.
feet?
Basically, the swelling of your muscles when you cast Strength of the Bull alone was enough to remove the lasso.
He flexed and it snapped off.
Yes.
Basically, you did
I
what
learned
you
that
did
trick.
earlier.
Yeah.
I learned that. Yeah, I was gonna say I learned that trick from the mutant. He just flexed, and his lives. Oh, that's a cool trick. Okay, so let me ask this question: is Scab in front of or behind the occultist?
Scab
Did
was
you just
trying-
run up in front of him?
In front.
Yeah, I was
would
trying
say.
to loop it and get behind him to strangle him, but I failed at my attack.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
just intestines all over now.
I am going to try and pull off a bow and arrow. I'm just going to run at this guy and try and hook him on the head or around the neck and just kind of throw my knee into his back
Sure.
and try and roll him up.
He has
Okay.
got quite a beefy AC. His AC is 17.
Let's see here. Feats of strength. So this isn't a feat of strength. This is an attack.
This is an attack.
And strength
yeah.
modifier is doubled. So it's just all it's doing is just doubling my strength modifier. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm just going to roll it normal, and this will just be whatever it rolls plus 2 additional because my modifier is 2.
Okay.
Oh, I can do do I do +2 or just type 2 in the situational modifiers? Is it just 2?
Just type 2.
Just
Yeah,
2.
not the plus.
Just type 2. Okay.
2.
I'll just throw it in there that way then. Oh, ouch.
Oh,
That hurt.
Does
Oh
not
my
happen. Oh, but I have a boon. Can I re-roll with the boon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you
will
wanna spin the
re-roll
boon,
with
go ahead.
then. I might as well right now.
Yeah.
it wasn't a 1. So
There you go.
There you
yeah,
go.
your lucha
But it
die
doesn't go off. It
Right,
doesn't
but
go
you
off.
You do hit, and it does 6 points of damage to him. So he ducks, and you still manage to get an elbow into his chest, which knocks him back a little bit, does a little bit of damage, but you don't get off the actual wrestling maneuver. So that's that.
Okay.
Jebediah, there's still a group, well, probably 2 groups. The cult is going to start firing
Yeah.
on you.
I was going to ask, I forgot last turn, since I'm up against the cart, does that count as any partial cover?
No, because you're facing the cart and they're facing you. So unless you get in the cart or under the cart, no.
Okay. I wasn't sure if like some of them were firing around it, it would count.
Nah, they're all like almost like a firing line and just right behind you.
Oh God. Okay.
There's one less of them.
Like an execution team.
Me.
I should have waited longer.
Okay, so what do you want to do? I mean, you can climb inside and get complete cover if you wanted to.
Is it my turn right now?
No.
Yeah, it is your turn. Yeah.
You busted the lock off.
Oh, I didn't realize it made it to me yet. Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn. All right, well, I got you down as a 19. Did you not have a 19?
I had a 3.
Oh, okay. So this is an old one then. I'm sorry. Let me just dump you there then. Ivan, why did this
Gotta
not
be
do
honest.
this
I
Ivan,
do
what
want to
did
go
you
right
have?
now, but
right? Ivan, what was your initiative?
Oh, sorry, I didn't get it rolled again.
No.
Oh,
From this
that's
previous
why it's all
roll.
messed up.
Oh, from
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
From this one, it was
Yeah.
an 18.
Okay, so that was right. So I'm next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I'm next. Okay, yeah, this is bad. We'll start off with Weber, who's going to cast another spell. Okay, well, here we go. It's D20 plus 6. Boom.
Oh.
All right. He essentially calls lightning from the sky to strike everybody that's in melee around him. He is safe from it himself. This is a reflex save against his 21. If you make it, you save for half. And this is Ivan and Scab, the two that are around him.
He's
Oh
rude.
boy.
You do, from my brand, you do get a +1 to all saves and initiative.
Oh,
Oh,
and
I haven't
initiative.
even
I haven't
been using
putting
the
it-
initiative +1.
I'll remember that next round.
I haven't either.
Well, 18 with the +1, but
Not enough.
not enough. That's normally really good.
Not
15
enough.
for me.
Okay. Well, this is gonna hurt, guys. He's not a first level occultist. All
We
right.
can't roll to save our lives.
Sorry. I will just start off by saying sorry. Scab, you are struck by 11 points of lightning.
That's
Okay.
not horrible.
-3 because the
Mhm.
protection, the damage reduction still takes place. So
For
8
what it's
points.
worth, can we roll that one more time and I'll take the lesser of the two?
Yes.
So while I'm in Nice.
5. Take 5.
I'm currently pretty resilient.
Yep. Ivan, you are taking. Were you branded as well? Do you have the
He
damage
was.
reduction?
Yeah, I was
So
branded.
we all
you
were.
take 8. You take 8 points.
One way or the
Okay.
other. That's all branded.
I branded everyone.
Yeah, that branding is coming in handy, actually.
And here's the suck part. Well, first of all, one's dead. 2 have to clear their guns. Leaving 5 to shoot at Jebediah because they're not shooting into the melee with their boss. So that's good.
Don't worry, I'll throw up in
That's
your mouth later.
good. That's good. That's good.
Feel better.
That's good. All right. You're not. Okay, here we go. So first one, that hits.
Yeah,
Second one, that
Oh,
misses.
that's a miss.
Third one, misses.
Oh,
Fourth one, misses. Last one. What's your AC?
it just barely hits 15.
Okay, so two of them get you. Okay, well, this sucks. Were you branded or not? I don't remember.
I was.
Yeah.
Okay, so
6.
6 and then nothing. 6
Okay.
points of damage.
Not bad.
Still up?
I'm still up. I've got 5 health.
Plenty.
Not bad considering that was a hail of gunfire on you.
Yeah.
They're not real trained gun shooters, so I'm only doing one shot.
Mm.
Yeah, they're not great at shooting guns, so just one shot. Now my mutated cultist needs to make a save.
Too bad, please.
Okay, he starts drowning this round.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
All right, that was my turn. Pierce, you are down there in your shadowy armor.
Yeah, I'm
Doing
going
what?
to take my movement to get closer up to where they're at. And then I am going to spell burn and cast a spell.
Sure.
Since I have a new magic daddy, I get to roll on a special spell burn table.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 3, so my spell burn on a 3 is... Oh, okay. This is just heavy lifting for you, Bert. Let me put it in the
Okay.
chat. I experience an encounter which might end in my death. You choose an encounter in the current adventure or in the adventure area if no formal adventure is being played. You describe in visions of that encounter killing me, and then I get to choose 6 points of spell burn that don't immediately affect my ability score, but I'm going to suffer twice of that if I take any damage in whatever encounter you describe. That's
Okay.
gonna happen in the
Well,
future.
this is so yeah. So you get a flash of this is what this is, a premonition.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
could die right now.
It is a world-eating dragon snake devouring you whole.
Oh God. Okay. So if I ever encounter a world-eating dragon snake and it deals any damage, I am immediately going to take 12 points of spellburn damage. Because I want to abuse this now. I want to take 6
I
points.
mean, and how's that going to happen? I mean,
Right?
you know,
I mean, good thing there's
Where's-
nothing like that here.
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Right?
Everything's fine.
Okay.
there's just
All
a
right,
snake eating snake here.
It's definitely not in the near.
So what is the spell that you're casting now?
The Gaze of the Abyss.
Okay.
So I'll get to do, this is going to be a D20 plus 10.
Oh,
29.
man.
Very nice.
All right.
Oh,
And also because I cast this spell, immediately 4 desert lizards are summoned around me. One of which immediately explodes. And now every time I cast a spell, one of my lizards explode. And I get a +1 to die rolls after that. So a 29 on Gaze of the Abyss. I choose a number of creatures within 120 feet equal to caster level, so 4. Fixing these creatures with an unnatural gaze. And the targets yearn for death. They would need to make a willpower save equal to 29. And if their AC is reduced by 4, and each target uses its most damaging physical attack against itself. This attacks for D7 plus 4 rounds.
Nice. Okay, so who are you catching the gaze of?
Well, one of them is definitely going to go towards the boss guy.
Okay.
And then the other 3 are going to go towards 3 of the dudes who are shooting at the Jebediah.
I don't think
Okay,
any of
they
them
all fail.
can actually roll a 29.
So they must use their most damaging attack against themselves, right?
Yes, and they have to do this
Okay.
for the next 5 rounds.
Okay, but so it won't happen until they actually get an action to do it.
Correct.
But okay.
Correct.
You have affected Weber and 3 other of his cultists, bringing us to Killian, who's now behind a set of these cultists that were all firing on Jebediah.
Well, I guess I'll wrestle with one of them.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna try and grapple one.
Okay.
Uh,
So it's a strength versus strength contest.
Strength versus what was it?
it'd be great if he accidentally picked one of the ones that Chuck affected, and then instead of retaliating to the grapple, he just shoots himself in the head.
Yep. We'll get to that. Yeah, it's your strength
creatures
versus
use their
his.
reflex save.
It's not really a creature; it's a human. But okay, that's fine. We can do it that way. If that's yeah, all right.
Yeah.
10.
So go ahead. They got a 6.
Oh, cool. So I just grab one and pin him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you get one in like a full Nelson from behind.
Yeah.
Scab. You've
I
just been
learned from the
electrocuted by
best.
black lightning. Your papa just wiggled his fingers and something happened to Weber. You're not clear what yet, but he just hit you with black lightning.
Well, I just realized reading the strangler thing a little bit better. Turns out if I manage to strangle him, I can also chomp on him. So I've got a new attack mode put in here called brain chomping. I'm gonna roll that.
Mm-hmm. Well, his AC is only 13 now, thanks to Pierce.
Nice. Okay.
Hey, look at that.
God, you
Ooh.
chomped him.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the 7 points of brain chomping, and he has to make a
Yeah.
reflex save of 12 or also lose stamina.
You got it.
Okay. So yeah, so basically I am behind him, my intestines are wrapped around him, but they're not making
Yeah.
him lose stamina yet. But I just get up behind him, wrap my intestines around
Yep.
him. I might even put him
So
through
you're
my own hands, so I
effectively-
got a fulcrum.
You're effectively in a grapple. So for him to do anything, he has to break the grapple.
Yeah, so I've
So,
basically
yeah.
used my own intestines to grapple him, and the secondary thing is I just chomp
Yeah,
on the back
start
of his
chewing.
head.
Start chewing. Bringing us to Jebediah at a 3.
All right. And then I look around. How many people are still up that have been shooting at me?
5. Well, actually,
How's-
4. One of them is being strangled by Killian.
Okay. How sturdy does this wagon look?
Pretty sturdy, actually. I mean, it's already taken several bullet shots, and it hasn't made its way through the wood, so it's pretty sturdy.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna say I hope you're okay, and I'm gonna shut the door and then just start drawing cards.
Okay. All right, we'll call that movement. If you just want to close the door,
That's
we'll call
not
that
enough.
movement.
That little girl's
Are you
dead.
are you climbing in as well, or are you doing something else?
No. No, I'm just gonna start drawing cards right outside the caravan.
Okay.
Cart.
All right. So
And-
you're shooting out your magic missiles then. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
So I feel like I don't have
Fiery
another
death.
turn to spend because I'm at 5 HP.
Okay.
So first card, 6, 4, 4, Joker, Black Joker.
Okay.
isn't
So
that the
I'm gonna do
wild
that
card
fireball
for you?
thing? Yeah, it's the wild card that lets me choose whatever I
Yeah.
want. So I'm gonna do my go-to big fireball.
We'll go ahead and do the damage for the first cards you drew. Do those
Yeah.
first. They actually don't have that many hit points. So
Okay.
There might
it's
be-
D6.
You can have, I think, fireballs that target like a specific thing that might be more effective if you wipe them out.
I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm just gonna start pelting the people that have been shooting at me. Was I able to see the ones that were hit by the spell? Like, were they
no.
obviously hit
I
by
mean,
the
like
spell?
you really can't tell. It's not obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not obvious.
Okay, I'll just like at random then at the ones that are shooting at me. So we'll do 4 damage, 3 damage, and then 5 damage.
Okay. None of that's enough to kill any individual one. So now do your Joker. Or yeah, do your Joker.
Okay. And the Joker, I'm going to be doing. I have the list up here. Gunslinger.
Yeah, Daniel's not wrong, and the pinpoint's probably better because anything that's area is everything in the area, which would include Killian at this point.
Yeah.
I've been slapped around by a Mormon. I'm fine.
Oh, whoops! I did the wrong one.
I think it's like Queen of Hearts or something like
yeah.
that. Some like fireballs.
Yeah, there's one that lets me do.
I looked through these a while back because they were really fun looking.
Each fireball target. I think Jack of Hearts might be pretty good because I can hit people for 2d6 fire. King of Hearts has a really big blast radius that's probably not going to be good. Yeah, I'm going to do the Jack of Hearts. So card spins around, spitting out 1d4 plus caster level balls of fire at one or more targets within 50 feet. Each fireball automatically hits the target, inflicting 2d6. And then they also must pass a DC 12 reflex save to avoid catching fire.
Sure. So you've got a base 4, and then roll to see how many more you get.
Okay. 5.
1.
Yeah,
5.
so
So
5
one
total.
on each. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage. I would assume one on each.
I'm gonna do. It doesn't say that they have like an AOE, so I'm gonna throw
and
one
it's
at
not.
the.
It's just it's pinpoint.
It's like just
Yeah.
pinpoint, yeah. So I'm gonna do one on the boss as well.
Okay.
Instead of
Yeah.
So one on boss guy, and then the other.
So it is
Or-
literally like the magic missile spell in D&D where you don't miss. So it doesn't matter that they're in melee. It still will hit your target.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll roll damage for the boss first. It's going to take
Okay.
6. They have to do a reflex 12, which I imagine they're going to whip. Are they at a disadvantage on that reflex because of them being grappled right now?
Even so, they're still going to make it with an 18.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. And then to the other randos, 9 damage,
Dead,
9 damage,
dead.
and 9 damage.
Dead. 3 of them are dead.
Oh, and then there's one more. And 2 damage to the last one.
To the last one, which took 6 dead. So the only
All
one
right.
left standing is the one that Killian is strangling.
Don't worry, I got him.
He's trying real
Technically,
hard.
I can keep drawing, so I'll throw another card at him, and then 10. So I'm going to do a d6 on that. I'll hit the
Okay.
one Killian did. Actually, no, I'm going to throw it at the boss man.
Okay.
D6 at the boss. 3. I'll do one
points
more
to the boss.
card. 2.
Okay. And who are you throwing this one at?
Also at the boss.
3.
For
Boss goes down.
3.
Oh,
Oh, does he?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of hit points. He just really hard to hit.
So
Okay.
how many are left?
Just
So
the guy
one.
Killian's pinning down, and a drowning mutant.
And a drowning mutant.
Okay.
So do we just go watch him drown in the water for a second, like catch our breath?
Yeah, if he tries
Okay,
to come back
so-
up, we just push him back down.
So given the time, let's go ahead and go out of combat here as the one cultist that Killian is strangling is like, he puts his hands up. I surrender. I surrender. Look, I only did this because my buddy Bob said it was a way to get chicks. I mean, come on. Let me go. Let me live.
he's surrendering and he's doing it to get chicks. As a Frenchman, I have to let him go. That's-
All right. And I'm just going to make one more roll here. Boom. Drowning mutant continues to drown and is probably dead because he hasn't surfaced.
He missed all the
Let's
fun.
wait for the bubbles to
Scab,
stop.
you continue to strangle the life out of Weber. He stops struggling at some point, and you keep strangling until his head pops off.
I'm gonna eat all those brains.
Yeah. There you go.
Tasty, tasty brains.
Yeah. So while this was all going on, your healer was rushing through the battlefield, ready to slap some healing on anybody that was about to go down. Was that the next card?
That was the next card. That would have been bad. I'm glad I stopped what I did.
Okay. So we, given the time, we are way over. So we'll stop there, and we'll talk about the fallout of this beginning of next session, guys. Right.
You know, if
Chuck.
Furry Man dies, his soul goes to the near. If there's a sleeping dragon in there, it'll kill him.
Oh,
Chuck,
God.
you got any announcements? Anything you want to talk about for DOK? What's coming up?
sure. Yeah. Over on twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold. Swing by on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Central, when we run our Alien All Fear the Ishtar campaign using the Alien role-playing game by Free League Publishing. Swing by Fridays because Joe is running some Heart for us. That's at 10 p.m. Central. What else? We do some stuff over on Grim and Perilous Plays every Saturday. Usually it's either in the middle of the day for some Tales from the Loop, or it's in the evening when we're at our buddy Adam's house, and Jeremy, Dan, and I play some games with him. I think we're not doing anything in January in those evenings, at least live. We're just going to be playing some board games off stream. And then check our YouTube, because everything we do goes on YouTube, and we also have a new Pathfinder show this coming week that's going to start showing up, and it'll be YouTube exclusive. So,
First or second?
Wow.
second edition, the Age of Ashes campaign
nice.
path. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell us about your Patreon,
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Aaron Reese on Patreon. You got comics, maps, RPG assets. It's cool. Check it out.
Cool. And check out my podcast, Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. There's 14 plus years of podcasting goodness on there. I stream as well. My next stream will be Tuesday for second edition Dungeons and Dragons. We've only got one game in the can at this point. It was a brand new campaign that we just started off with. Normally we would stream Fridays, but I've got a funeral to go to this Friday, so that won't happen. Next Saturday is Cyberpunk Red. A cyberpunk / sitcom I'm calling Choom. And then that following Sunday is Shadowrun second edition with some of the folks here. And again, I'm going to plug the fact that we now have the split version of Weird Frontiers. This is the only current way to get the game as a print on demand. It should be going live in just a little bit. These are the proof copies right here, proof copies. It's split into roughly half, with one book being the magic tome, all the spells, and the patrons that McIntyre is now beholden to in this book as well here. And then the other tome is, of course, the main rule book tome. They're roughly the same, 60 pages difference on them. And they'll be available on Drive-Thru-RPG's PODs very soon. And my Kickstarter was very successful. Dicey Tales version 2 ended last week. We doubled our goal. It will hit Drive-Thru-RPG as both a PDF and a print on demand probably in a month or two. We want to get the Kickstarter folks that in their hands first, so they get first dibs. But otherwise, if you like pulp RPGs, find Dicey Tales version 2 soon on Drive-Thru-RPG. Anyone else got anything? Parting words? No. Okay.
We survived another session.
We are good people. And we survived because we are good people.
Yeah.
I was
the
one card away
cultists-
from murdering a little girl.
If the cultists weren't bad at shooting, could have gone very different, but they were very bad at shooting.
I'm very bad at shooting.
There we go.
But we
If
have
one more of
great
them would have
AC.
hit me, I would have died.
I'm very bad at shooting. The cultists were far better than I was.
In theory,
All right,
you're
guys,
really
let's
good.
get off of here. We're running half an hour late. So let's say everybody goodbye. Thank you for
Goodbye.
watching. Hope you all had
Goodbye.
fun.
Thanks for coming and hanging out.